Last year, we earned funds through Caring for Our Watershed to add native plants to our school's garden and prevent runoff from entering our school's detention pond. This year, we want to add signs to our garden that can educate people on how our native plants help people prevent dead zones in our watershed. And we also want people to learn what they can do at home and help them connect with local environmental organizations. Our signs are meant to do more than just educating people about our garden. They are meant to help people get involved in caring for our watershed.
Last year during our CFW project, we learned how excess nutrients and runoff can create dead zones in the Chesapeake Bay and how our school contributes to them. It is common for fertilizer that contains nitrogen and phosphorus to be added to the grass. When it rains, these nutrients can end up in the bay, and an overaccumulation of these nutrients causes excessive growth of algae, which blocks the sunlight and strips the water of oxygen. This is called a dead zone since no aquatic life can live there. On average, the Chesapeake Bay has over 1.2 cubic miles of dead zones during the summer months. According to NOAA, 1 pound of fertilizer can create 34.2 pounds of excess algae growth in waters. This doesn't just affect marine life, but it could also have a big economic impact because according to the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, the Bay provides $2.8 billion to Maryland and Virginia and 20,000 jobs annually.
To help solve this issue, we added native plants with deeper roots that could absorb more nitrogen and phosphorus to the garden by our detention pond. Then we presented our findings at our school STEM festival where we educated people on the issue. Here's what our project looked like. A lot of people we talked to wanted to learn more about the issue, so we surveyed families to see how many people in our community were aware of the causes and effects of dead zones from home water pollution. Here are the results of the survey we sent. We concluded that most people don't know what dead zones are, and they aren't aware of how native plants can help. We also found that people were interested in planting native plants in New York.
This is why we wanted to add signs to our garden. Our signs are going to be built with the intent to educate others and to encourage them to join with local environmental organizations. We would like to have 3 signs located by our school's plant buffer. The first sign will have information about how to reduce fertilizer use and other best practices for lawn. The second sign will include native plants and how they prevent dead zones. And the third sign will have QR codes to our school website and information on local organizations focused on improving our watershed. Here's how one sign may look. We will be working with our school's art teacher who has a background in graphic design. We are also working with our school's science teacher to bring students out to the classroom and have fun activities in the school, so students can identify the crucial parts about nutrient runoff and dead zones. After seeing these signs, students will share information with their parents. Then we will get our community involved, and we will do things such as planting native plants and using fertilizer properly. The signs we buy will have ways to change information so future students can add on to our research and update the signs. That's where our website is.
The Green School webpage is used to inform people about our garden program and a combination of MBMS. We have already begun working with the Howard County Conservancy, specifically Heather Jones. They said they were willing to make social media posts and are looking into adding a bulletin board that displays things around the community that we could utilize. With Green Howard is Howard County's government website that informs the community about environmental initiatives. If we connect people who see our sign to Live Green Howard's newsletter, they will be able to give monthly updates on what's going on in our area. To further influence people, we are working with a local nursery to create a list of plants for people to add into their garden. Besides the shopping list, we will also offer a discount to influence our community. Our research showed that people were interested in buying native plants, they just needed help.
One of the UN Sustainable Goals that this project fits into is Goal 13, climate action. It is shown that native plants reduce carbon dioxide emissions. Our project also fits into Goal 14, life below water. Reducing dead zones and improving water quality supports life underwater and are the main goals of our project. The last UN Sustainable Goal our project fits into is Goal 15, life on land. Native plants greatly help pollinators and other plants flourish, which provides more food and habitats for animals.
We want to improve our watershed, and we would like to educate others so they can learn this too. Along the way, we have learned important lessons about working together effectively and efficiently. And we want to spread the message that everyone can contribute to these environmental issues, and anyone who's willing to be able to make a difference.
Thank you.
Nice job. You can either keep sharing your screen or if there's something you wanted to go back to, or you can unshare it and we're going to move into the Q&A portion. And I just love that local data, like understanding people's behavior and interest and great example of working with community. That really stuck out to me. So yeah, I'm going to turn it over to the judges for their comments and questions and let's dig in.
Thank you. That was amazing. I love that you're building on your project from last year. I love that you're working with different community partners to spread awareness in and beyond your school about native plants, and you collected your own data. Just a really great job. I would love to hear a little bit more about this budget that I see on the slide right now and the resources that you need to get to keep doing this besides the signs.
Know if we see a budget. That one?
Yeah, there's a slide that has it linked at the top in the title.
Oh. Okay.
There we go.
There you go.
That's your implementation money.
Like,
Explain the signs, the buying of the signs.
like,
Yeah. I'm sorry, could you repeat the question for them? Because I think you're asking about the implementation funds they received for the signs.
I just want to hear a little bit about your budget, your resources. What do you need? What money do you need to keep going with this plan?
so I'll
Explain the money you've received. Just explain. Go ahead, anybody.
So last year we already received money, as we mentioned before, right? So we received, I think it was about $1,800, right? Yeah, and we used most of it for our buffer that we spent in your school. We have some of it left over, and we also have this year, right, where we're hoping to get money. So I believe the total came to about $1,100. We wanted to use to basically buy 3 signs. So we were collaborating with the interviewed this person who was creating signs. We also looked at other websites. We wanted to find one that could utilize the budget the most, but also had a good quality for our signs. So I think that was the important thing that we were looking for. And I think depending on how much money we do end up receiving will be the determining factor for where we buy the signs and what quality they end up.
Thank you. I appreciate that description that you're looking to be mindful of cost and quality so it lasts.
Yeah, great job, guys. Nice presentation. So I appreciate the fact that you guys are building on your prior work, like the first Georgie just said, and the fact that you're also using your own survey data, trying to survey, families to identify gaps in awareness, and then designing these solutions around those results. And it's a genuinely solid research practice. I appreciate that. So, and also, I also appreciate the fact that there's a practical community connection as well, like partnering with the Howard County Conservancy, the Green Howard newsletter, and the rest you talked about. So this shows you guys thought about reward behaviors and changes and not just awareness. So I just have one questions for you guys. So you guys surveyed families and found most people didn't know what dead zones are, right? So, but what was like the most surprising thing you learned from those surveys results?
I think finding out that people had native plants, but they weren't aware on what they did for the environment was really surprising. I think that was how that affected our goal, like making people more aware on this concept.
Cool. Great job. Great job.
I would love to hear a little bit more about the survey that you did. That was like the most exciting part to me, because I love that you're doing community outreach. Can you tell me like how did you like conduct the survey? Did you send it out? Did you talk to people in person? It looked like you had some boards where you were doing like some education. So I'm just curious, what did that look like? How did you get the data?
So we sent out the survey to like families and like just people like at our school. And then we also had like our parents send it to people they know. And last year we did this showcase where we all presented our projects and like what we learned throughout it. And it was actually very interesting to hear people's feedback, and like we got to know a lot about like what they learned and like what they really didn't know throughout like seeing our presentations. So that was really fun.
Awesome. That's so great. Thank you so much.
Great job, guys. I just want to say a big shout out to you for getting your community involved and getting members of your school involved. Very, very good job.
Thank you.